your noob gamer friend here, Varun aka Tubby aka the Indian frustrated gamer. And actually, this particular video is a continuation of the previous video where we were going through the water cooling build that we just finished. Uh, Actually, I was going through the video and I realized that I have not at all discussed the temperature differences before and after. So right now we will be discussing in this video the temps, the FPS difference, if any. Because see, this particular 4090 is not exactly the multiple V BIOS graphics card that you might see in the market. It does not have a overclocking switch or anything, and it has a limit, power limit of 450 watts. So it does not go beyond. So I've left it, to auto tune itself, and there is a slight difference, but not exactly much. But the temperature difference is there. So as you can see, this is the graph, and as you can see, the temperature difference is quite huge, right? So the temperature difference right now, which you are able to see, is approximately 20 degrees. If we talk about the idle state itself, and if we talk about the maximum difference, right, which one can see is actually I believe the 80 to 55 degree, where it gives you a difference of about 25 degrees. So as you can see, temperature on load, the max which I recorded on air was 80 degrees, and the max which I have recorded till now is 55. It won't exceed 55 whether or not I'm pushing it or whatnot. And temperature while idle, air was also not an issue. In fact, on water, the ambient is this time around, since it's winters in India, so it's around 15 degrees Celsius. So 10 degrees above it, so 24 degrees Celsius. And the temperature while gaming is also below 50, which is also very nice. Now, coming to the next part, right, the FPS part. So I have not extensively tested many games, but these are the five, or in fact, four games that I have tested. One is Spider-Man, and I saw like a 3 or 4 FPS gain. So again, I'm not sure whether it's measurable, because the same part I have not like overplayed it, but yes, there is a difference of around 3 to 5 FPS, as you can see. Then Doom Eternal gave me the same FPS. Horizon Zero Dawn also, I saw a slight jump, 6, in fact 10 frames, but then again when I ran it again, it reduced to 5. So I'm not sure what exactly happened over there. And then there is Cyberpunk, right? So Cyberpunk also has given me a boost of 5 to 10 FPS, but I'm, since what I feel is can be a margin of error, so I'm taking the lower numbers. So these two things are there, guys. So in the next part, we'll go ahead and discuss the specs of the machine, and also if you want to custom water cool your machine, what are my takeaways from my experience building this particular rig. Okay, guys, let's jump to the next part. Okay, guys, so as I was explaining, firstly, let us go through the components, and also Vedant is actually joining us with this particular part as well. He's behind the camera. So,
Hello
hey,
guys.
Vedant. Yeah. So, okay. So let's summarize the specs, and then I will go ahead and walk through that what exactly we faced, how exactly I think that you should go ahead and avoid those issues that we faced. Okay. Now starting with the cabinet itself, the cabinet is the O11D XL Lian Li. So this is a cabinet which is very popular with water cooling builds. You can see a lot of builds which are being made in this particular chassis. So we have opted for the same, and in fact last year also I used the same cabinet. Okay, now coming to the CPU, the CPU is the last gen 5900X itself. I have not upgraded to the 7000 series of AMD because I am waiting for the prices to come down of the motherboards. The CPU, as you can see right now the prices are down, but I'm waiting for the motherboards also to come down in prices, so that we are able to afford some of the motherboards which are quite expensive right now. So I'm waiting for the part, but then again that's a separate thing that I'm going to upgrade, I think, in around 6 months from now, so that I may chunk more videos out of my build. But anyways, moving ahead, so I have 64 GB of RAM, which is 3600 a Trident Z RGB. As you can see, we have the 4090, which is from Eno 3D, and I have specifically ordered a custom water block from Alpha Cool. And if you want to order something similar, you can check their websites. They are readily available in Europe, so you can order from their website. They ship it, but the thing is, please be careful of the customs, because I faced issues as far as custom is concerned. Custom took some days to clear it. I don't know why, because they opened it up, because I believe GPU block, when something says GPU block, they might be confused at what exactly it is, so they opened it up and checked it. So just be careful if you want to order it. See, mine is working fine, right? Your mileage may or may not vary. So again, order at your own risk. But again, this is the second time that I'm ordering, and the second time it's working fine. So you can also try it out. Okay, so we have discussed the CPU, RAM, the GPU, the motherboard, right? The motherboard is the Asus Dark Hero 8 X570 motherboard, and I believe this is the like top end Asus motherboard as far as the 570 chipset is concerned. So this is a very good motherboard, guys. I have been using it from the past 1.5 years. It has seen 3600X as well, 3900X as well, and then 5900X as well. So it has seen a lot of CPU changes, but it has served me well. Okay, now coming to the accessories part, right? So we have 3 radiators. All the 3 radiators, as you can see, are 360 millimeter, and all the 3 radiators have Corsair fans. So 2 of the radiators has LL 120 mm fans, and one of the radiators has the Pro fans. So the difference is the pressure of the fans is slightly higher than the LP fans, so that's the reason I have opted for the fan. Now coming to the piping part, which is from the EK, which is soft tubing, the fittings, the water cooling, the water block, everything, right? Except for the coolant itself, right? The coolant is Corsair's XL8, okay, which you see, which is flowing. The distro plate is from EK, which is known as the EK distro plate for O11D XL. It is specifically made for this particular case. That's the reason it is fitting like this. Again, if you're opting for any other case, please go ahead and order a distribution plate if you want to accordingly, right? So again, each and every case has its own, it might have its own distribution plate, so you can search, right? But you can get this, I think, with this particular case quite easily. Okay, now coming to the fittings and the pipe is soft tubing PVC. It is again EKWB, EKWB, and then fittings as well. They are all compression fittings. Some of them are 90 degrees, some of them are 45 degrees. Again, they are from EK itself. I have some slight customization, like the motherboard, the 24 pin. It's from X data, I believe, and it is RGB for RGB goodness. My PC, if I switch it on, it's a full unicorn. You can see each and every color of rainbow here. Yeah, so I think that is about it. And yes, one thing, right? If you are handling 9 fans, guys. So again, a pro tip, or a noob tip, whichever way you want to understand it, please order a fan hub. So in my case, since every fan is from Corsair, I ordered Commander Pro, right? So Commander Pro and also splitter. Okay, so 1x2 splitter. So Commander Pro can handle at 1.6 fans and their speeds, right? And then it has hubs as well, that you can insert the RGB hub, right, which comes with these fans, right? So these fans comes with the RGB hub, right? One RGB hub, one RGB hub, and one RGB hub. But the up part is that each RGB hub you can insert 6 fans. Okay, so I inserted 6 in one and 3 in one, and then you connect them and both go into the Commander Pro. and the splitter, right, as I was mentioning, 1 into 2. So what I did is I used the splitter to split the fan, like 1 into 2, 1 into 2, 1 into 2, and all these fans were actually connected to only 3 knobs, right? You split them. 6 divided by 2 is 3, right? So 3 plus 3 6, and these 6 fans were again inserted into Commander Pro. So Commander Pro handles 6 fans. So I had 9, so I ordered a splitter, right? And that is done. And then Commander Pro handled 2 RGB hubs, and we were able to do so because RGB hub handles 6 RGB fans at a time. So we have 9. So we have still some space over there as well. Okay, right. When you are building a water cooled system, what exactly are the issues that you need to be careful about? So as we mentioned, previously, what exactly you need to be sure about is your loop. Okay, so if you see any water cooling guides, everyone is saying plan the build. So how exactly you should plan it, right? So planning is a huge word, right? So what my take on this is, first see your cabinet. Okay, see where exactly are the radiators going to fit, right? If you are going with one radiator or two radiators, that is also very important. And then decide whether you are going with a vertical mount like we have opted for, or you are going with the default orientation, which is inside the motherboard itself, right? Once you have these three things sorted, right, and you know that okay, I'm going to install only one radiator, but then again I want a vertical mount, or maybe I'm going to install two radiators, then if you say you are going to go with the vertical mount, you might face issues, right? You might say that okay, my case is not supporting that configuration, so you might go in a different direction. So again, guys, very important to isolate these kind of issues earlier on, so that when you're building the machine, you don't face any issues. Okay, so that is one part. So when you're done with okay, I want to install two radiators, and I want to install a vertical mount. Now what kind of pump you want, right? So there are different pumps and reservoirs combo, which are available. Do you want a square one like I had previously, which was smaller? It's actually a 240 millimeter kind of a thing. Or do you want a distro plate, or you want a very small pump itself, which only functions as a pump and not exactly much of a reservoir? It is very small. So again, once you have that in mind, please imagine your loop inside your case accordingly and then plan it. Okay, so again, guys, maybe have a drawing, right? Take a piece of paper, maybe have a drawing, where you point, okay, this is the inlet, this is the outlet, and whatnot. So design, and plan, please, and have the fittings ordered, as I would say, more fittings are actually easier to manage rather than having less fittings and then working your head around that what exactly we should do. So order, if you are opting for such kind of builds, please order some spare fittings for yourself, so that in case one or two fittings are not working fine, or you have any issues, you can replace them with others. And have angle fittings as well, angled fittings like 45 degrees and 90 degrees, those also help, right? And actually this particular point I should have mentioned earlier. Please have it in mind whether you want to do hard tubing or soft tubing. I have many a times tried to go ahead and with the hard tubing, but I have not been very comfortable with that particular idea, because I feel that maybe I want to reseat the RAM, I want to change anything, I want to upgrade the SSD. So having hard tubing, I won't have that flexibility, right? So you need to go ahead and drain it each and every time. With soft, what exactly happens is you can still dismantle like the CPU block, if you want to change it, and it won't cost any damage or removing it. So again, soft tubing, which I feel is a tad easier. It is not easy in any sense, but easier than hard tubing to change anything you want in the desktop. Okay, guys. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the water cooling. If you have any questions, if you think that okay, if I'm able to answer anything, please be free, right? The EK block, the CPU block that we have, if you have any queries regarding that, the GPU block that we have regarding a alpha cool. If you have any queries, the distro plate, if you have any queries, please feel free to comment in the comment section. And please guys, like, share, and if you like the content, also subscribe. Please do subscribe. Okay guys, that's it for this particular video. Thanks for your time. This is your noob gamer friend here, Varun aka Tubby, aka the Indian frustrated gamer, signing off. Have a nice day. Bye bye now.